Hey guys, Superhorrorbro Mike here, and in today's video we navigate the perils of a mysteriously abandoned kindergarten, now full of killer mascot toys. This is the story of Joyville Explained, so sit back, relax, and let's take a joyful journey into the unknown. Joyville was once a popular attraction for parents to take their kids. It acted as a daycare, one where children could be dropped off and left in the care of the staff to learn, play, and make memories during the long summer months. Think of it as an elaborate mascot-themed summer camp. The founder and CEO of Joyville was a local businessman named Harrison Vanderbilt, who was arrested one day under mysterious circumstances. Law enforcement refused to elaborate on Vanderbilt's alleged crimes, but they seemed to be linked to the children left under his company's care. One day out of nowhere, the children and staff of Joyville mysteriously vanished without a trace. The doors to the building were locked up tight, and when authorities entered the kindergarten to investigate, they found an eerily empty building devoid of life. Parents and relatives of the missing children and staff became enraged at the lack of transparency from local law enforcement, desperate to know the fates of their loved ones. Joyville was then closed down, Harrison Vanderbilt arrested, and the mystery of the missing children never solved. This brings us to the start of the game, where we step into the shoes of an adult who decades later returns to the abandoned kindergarten in search of answers. The protagonist visited Joyville as a child and finds themselves drawn back by its unsettling closure, desperate to discover what really happened here all those years ago. Although it is worth mentioning that you'd never know this from playing the game. All of this information is oddly relegated to Joyville's Steam store page. After entering the facility, our hero enters a storeroom where they discover a video camera featuring a disturbing recording from an ex-employee.
I don't know what's happening here, but something is terribly wrong. Everyone, all the children and the other employees, they vanished without a trace. I'm the only one left. I'm trapped, terrified. I don't know how much longer I can hope.
The employee comments on the vanishing of his co-workers before speaking of a monstrous creature now roaming the facility. This monster soon discovers his whereabouts, and it is suggested the terrified staff member is then eaten. In order to exit the lobby, our protagonist must first restore power to the elevators. To do this, they need to locate a key which unlocks a maintenance room, and then rewire a set of fuses which sends power to a lever in the security room. The fuses are labelled by both numbers and colours, and the order in which we must connect them can be found by taking a closer look at the multicoloured bumper cars strewn about the lobby. After power is restored, they take the elevator to the upper floors. Here they find another locked door, this one featuring the face of Joyville's most beloved mascot, Wooly Bully. To enter this door they must locate a teddy bear, which can then be scanned on a nearby monitor to grant access. The teddy bear is stashed away in a nearby locker room. Here we discover a second recording, seemingly from the same employee who met a grisly fate shortly after.
My name is Ethan Jenkins, and I work at Joyville. Something terrible has happened, and I don't have much time to explain. But there's something important you need to know about this teddy bear. It has a special chip embedded in it, a chip that can do incredible things. It's a long story. I can't risk revealing it on camera because I don't know who might find it.
The employee was named Ethan Jenkins, and he seems to be the inventor of this teddy bear, and by extension, the person in charge of the security systems found throughout Joyville. Ethan explains that the teddy bear contains a computer chip capable of doing incredible things. However, he does not elaborate at this time. Using the teddy bear, our protagonist is able to access the play zone, an elaborate amusement park area where children were free to enjoy a host of playground attractions. an introductory video plays to welcome new guests, narrated by none other than Harrison Vanderbilt himself.
At Joyville, we believe that childhood should be filled with laughter, exploration, and unforgettable memories. Then we've crafted an experience like no other, tailored specifically to ignite the spark of joy in every child's heart. Come and discover the unparalleled joy that awaits in our marvelous children's house.
The video ends with a series of glitching, distorted images, a creepy montage that sets the scene for the terrors to come. To exit the play zone, we must locate a ticket which can then be fed into a minigame known as the Joyville, a giant flower with different coloured petals which must be spun in a particular sequence to unlock a nearby door. The colour sequence reflects the colours of the rainbow, which makes sense as a giant neon-lit rainbow sign can be seen above the doorway. However, this task is made more difficult by the inclusion of a killer mascot named Blenny. Blenny is a worm-like creature who looms over the player as they attempt to solve the Joyville. If we pick 3 incorrect colour selections, Blenny attacks and it's lights out for our hero. After completing the Joyville minigame, the door opens and our intrepid explorer is granted access to the next area. A large hole has appeared in the hallway ahead, and while trying to make their way across a precariously placed plank, it breaks and sends the protagonist plummeting into the depths of the basement beneath. As they come to, the protagonist discovers a conveniently placed flashlight and begins to explore the dark depths. As they do so, they encounter the other 3 members of Blenny's worm gang, Seanie, Mordy, and Ronnie. These angry-looking invertebrates eerily stalk the player as they navigate the darkness. However, for now they seem content to taunt and frighten rather than attack. Eventually the explorer manages to find their way back to the play zone. The lights have powered down, and as they make their way to the exit, a monstrous living version of Wooly Bully emerges from the darkness. This seems to be the horrifying creature that savaged Ethan Jenkins during his video recording seen earlier. The protagonist escapes Wooly by climbing inside a slide too narrow for the mascot to fit through. After Wooly Bully gives up his pursuit, the lights power back up and our hero is able to safely exit the play zone lobby. They next find themselves in a building block puzzle room, where the objective is to place the correct colour blocks on the corresponding pressure plates. By completing this challenge, the door at the far side of the room unlocks, and they are able to gain entry to the maintenance tunnels. As they begin to explore the tunnels, the gates around them seal shut, forcing our investigator to head back towards the play zone. As they make their way up the staircase, a cluster of ball pit balls spills down. The culprit behind the commotion is revealed to be none other than Wooly Bully, who has managed to zero in on the position of our hapless hero. Wooly chases us down a series of halls that lead deeper and deeper into the facility. The protagonist manages to drop into the sewers via a hole in the wall, eventually taking them to an elevator back to the surface. Throwing themselves inside the elevator, they narrowly avoid a nasty death at the hands of Wooly Bully, and begin their ascent to the safety of a world above. Unfortunately, during this ascent, Wooly manages to clamber on top of the elevator, breaking the support cables and sending the player hurtling into the unknown depths below. And for now, this is where the story of Joyville reaches its conclusion. It will be interesting to see how the story of Joyville unfolds in future chapters. What became of Joyville's founder, Harrison Vanderbilt? Is Ethan Jenkins really dead? And what was the true fate of the missing children and staff members? There are also several mascots seen via poster art and cutouts throughout Chapter 1 yet to make an appearance in the flesh. Joyville is a promising mascot horror game which certainly seems heavily inspired by Poppy Playtime, in both its setup and art style. Time will tell if this game can differentiate itself enough story-wise to make it a worthy competitor amongst a sea of similar games. But for now, I do remain hopeful as Chapter 1 seems to be off to a strong start. But with that said, we've come to the end of today's video and a look at the story of Joyville Chapter 1 explained. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it both entertaining and informative. And if you did, remember to leave a like, comment down below, and of course subscribe for more horror related content. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next video.